Hi there, this is Prague Talk, a podcast from Radio Prague International. My name is Ian Willoughby. My guest in this episode is Barbora Baronová, somebody who I admire greatly. Bara runs Women, an independent publishing house based here in Prague. Since 2012, the company has brought out works by such names as photographer Libuše Jarcovjáková and dancer Miřenka Čechová, as well as earning many admirers for its striking designs. As Barbora Baronová explains in this edition of Prague Talk, she literally puts everything she has into women, which is a true labour of love. Your mother, I was reading, was a librarian. How much do you feel that shaped your future life?
It's a very interesting question because I have just finished my new book where I even say that books are a safe space for me. All my childhood I was growing up amongst books. It was a really very natural environment for me, and maybe this is also the reason why I do books. I write them, I publish them because it's something very natural to me.
You describe yourself as a literary documentarian. I've got to confess, I don't know this term. What is a literary documentarian?
Actually, I invented this term because I was doing my PhD on books that are kind of non-fiction books. The thing is that the term non-fiction doesn't fit to all the types of books that are dealing with the real things and facts and stories. So I was looking for a term that would fit better with what I do, because I do literature, I do non-fiction, but usually I experiment with the text a lot. And for me, a literary documentary is something like film documentary, but it's not the medium is not film, but books or literature. So therefore, I use this term.
13 years ago or so, you set up the publishing company Women. What does the name mean? It's spelled W-O-men.
You know, sometimes you have to decide about the name or something in a hurry. It was my case, so I didn't think about the name of my publishing house at all. We just needed to bring the name like in 20 seconds. So I said, maybe this is a good term. And why there is this slash? It's because I was thinking the books I do are not only for women, but they're for men too. But today maybe I would put there plus. It's like women plus, or I don't know, that it includes everybody. So it's just a bad idea in a quick decision process.
What was the reason you formed the company so quickly? What was your motivation all those years ago?
To tell you the truth, I never wanted to be a publisher. It's just the one big mistake, but I'm successful in what I do, so I keep doing it. I always say if I was good on ski, I would do skiing. And, we created the book about unmarried women with the photographer Dita Pepe. And we wanted to publish it somewhere, and we approached 3-4 big publishers, and they say, you're crazy, this is too artistic book and nobody would buy it, etc., etc. So I just withdraw the money, my savings that I was saving for the flat. I never bought a flat because all the money are now in books. But it was just a coincidence. I thought, okay, I'll publish one book and that's it. So then this crazy name of my publishing house appeared, and then from time to time I published some book because I thought it's a nice artistic practice. The thing is, at some point we received an award for publishers. I think it was 2016. It was Magnesia Litera. And then I realized, okay, maybe it's not just artistic practice. Maybe it's really publishing. So I just keep going. And every other month, I'm thinking, okay, this is enough. I don't want to be publisher anymore. I'm too stressed. It's so demanding. I want to be an artist, but I can't stop. It's like obsession, or I don't know. I really consider publishing is a beautiful tool how to spread interesting ideas. It's an amazing tool how to have a voice or to help other people to have a voice. It's a beautiful mean of art. So it's very difficult to stop doing it, even if I'm like always grumbling about the fact that it's too difficult and I should just focus on one thing that I consider the most important in my life, and is the documentary work, documentary writing.
It seems to me maybe you have a kind of sense of mission, the way you're describing publishing. Also, I saw one line from you where you said that books can help to cultivate the nation.
Yeah, I really believe it. I was always making jokes when I was younger that one day I'll sell my publishing house and became a rich old woman. But then I read a book by the Australian publisher Susan Hawthorne, who wrote a book called Bibliodiversity. And it really showed me how book is an important tool in the society that can make a world better. By reading books, you can really get to perspectives of other people, especially when you do and read non-fiction books. And I really believe it can create a change in the society. I'm always very angry that countries, even our country, is not more focusing on supporting art, books, etc., because it's such an important tool. It's a political thing, and this year I visited a festival in Ukraine, Arsenal Book Fair, and you could really see how books are such an important tool for Ukraine to spread things, values, ideas. It's amazing soft power to get the attention from abroad, for example. I hope we don't need to have a war to understand that the book is such an important thing and tool in this or instrument in the society for making the democracy stronger. And I really like the term Alice Kobova, the Czech philosopher, invented, or not invented, but brought. It's the resilience of society. So I really believe books are amazing tool for having a resilient society, especially in today's world.
I was reading also that some of your book projects can cost up to around 1 million crowns to get off the ground. How do you fund them, or what is the situation regarding support?
I've got a little privilege in the fact that I'm not a mother. I think I can behave a little bit more in a punk way. I'm really investing every little small amount of money, every penny goes to books. So I'm investing in books because you can't live from books in Czech Republic. There are only few people who can live from writing or publishing books. And I prefer to do art than business. So this is my problem. I don't have any properties. I don't have any car, anything. I just invest everything in it. So it's a kind of suicidal behaving, but I can afford it because nobody is dependent on me. And in Czech Republic, we have some fundings. Sometimes I touch the money from abroad, but the amounts are more, I don't want to say ridiculous, but in terms of money, it's, for example, 5% of your budget. So for a long time, I was doing books very slowly. I published 2-3 books per year. So the cash flow is enough to sponsor new projects. Now, for the first time in my life, after 13 years, I really want to start publishing more books because I'm getting more and more to very interesting books I really want and need to publish because I consider them very important, like books about Ukraine, like documentaries from Ukraine or projects about the self-defense, etc. So for the first time in my life, I'm even going to have a loan in a bank because I want to really push this cash flow a bit. So it's a punk thing to do books.
You have worked with some very interesting people. For example, you published one of the books by Miřenka Čechová. Also, this name was always hard for me to say, Libuše Jarcovjáková, whose book you published before her big exhibition in France that kind of changed her profile and kind of changed her life?
I have to say I'm a bit privileged in terms of meeting interesting people. This is a big luck. It's you have to be, I would say, even hypersensitive to sense the talent of people. And I get to Libuše, for example, by pure chance because she was recommended to me by another woman, her former student. And what was interesting was I get to her archives and I had her as the heroine of my book Intimita. And then I really tried to push her to publish her photos and diaries. With Miřenka, it was again like consequence of she approached me, and when I saw her, when I met her, I was sure I want to work with her, because what is also interesting, maybe, I'm not sure if all publishers are doing it, and I think most of them not actually. I consider publishing books as a teamwork, as a collaboration with amazingly talented people. So for me, when I do books, I spend with those people 2-3 years, sometimes even 5 or 6 on the project. So I'm also choosing projects and writers or photographers or graphic designers based on our abilities to collaborate and about the capacities we have or not have to create something unique. And it's about being open and for almost anything. I'm choosing people who are also a bit punk, to tell you the truth.
For you, design is very, very important. Often your books are nominated for the award for Most Beautiful Book of the Year. Why do you place such an emphasis on the book looking like a piece of art?
This is a very good question, and I like this question because when we started to work with Dita on our first project, I already mentioned this book about unmarried women. She said such an important sentence. She said, we are working on this project for 4 years, and we don't want to make the average book. If we put such an effort in creating it, why don't we put also an effort in terms of the appearance of the project? So I said, okay, it's a very good idea, and I love to follow this idea. And after many years, I realized it's kind of bonus for this book in terms of also that you've got the attention. In Czech Republic, we have for the moment around 15,000 books published every year, and it's very difficult to get the attention. But when you do something that it's more even like art in terms of design, or if you really put an effort in how it looks like and you see the love towards the book. So I think it's something people are interested in, and I think it's a kind of advantage for the book when you also put an effort, not only the content, but also the form.
When it comes to selling your books, do you have particular kind of niche distributors you work with, or how do you reach readers and people who want to buy your books?
Through my life, I had to do a lot of business decisions. For example, because we don't have a fixed price of books, I had to withdraw from the big distribution. But I have started to collaborate directly with shops. It's very time consuming, it's very demanding, but it's the only way today how I can reach really the people who are interested in kind of different types of books. And I also, because I studied journalism, mass communication, and I was working for a long time also in advertisement business, I learned a lot of good skills how to kind of catch the attention of people who might be potentially interested in. So I, for example, started a newsletter, like art newsletter. It's already maybe 12-13 years I've started with it. And there is a big group of several thousand of people who are following me. And I'm doing like a public diary. So it means when you receive my newsletter, you read what Barbara is doing, what is other artists, what are they doing, where we are going, what are we talking about. It's like the backstory, or I don't know how to describe it better. So there is a lot of gossips, how the books are being written or produced, etc. And I think people like it, and I'm creating kind of bond with them. So they are looking in my kitchen, literally, and I'm trying to create nice bonds with them. And I travel a lot to different book and literary events. I'm talking with people. It's this direct relationship I'm trying to have, and I think they see that I do books with passion. And sometimes I'm thinking, okay, how this person can be interested in the book about the specific subject, but they say, we love your books, we're big fans, so we need even this book, and one day I'll offer it to somebody, or I'll have a collection of your books. So it's very different, I think, from the mainstream projects. I really live the book, if I could describe it this way. Many people consider publishing more as a production thing, but I think it's a very creative thing. It's about meeting interesting people, collaborating with amazing people. I've got very beautiful relationship with people in the printing company. I try to have super nice relationship with bookstores, etc. So for me, it's my environment. And when you ask me at the beginning about the libraries, etc., I'm trying also to create this safe space within this. I try to create some ecosystem or book system or book ecosystem where I feel safe. So maybe you feel it. I'm really passionate about it.
Given that your company is called Women and often you focus on gender issues, I wanted to ask you about feminism in Czechia. For example, in America, they talk about now it's the fourth wave of feminism. Is there any way we can make an analogy with Czechia and Czech society? Where are we with feminism in this country?
It's a very complex question, actually. There were amazing people like Pavla Fridlova and Miřenka Čechová who were really involved in our Czech feminism in 90s, etc. There was a lot of misunderstanding through the years. We published with Šárka Homfrey, the lawyer and an activist, the book called Proč jsme tak naštvaní, Why Are We So Upset? It's really about feminism and different... it's full of case studies and cases about how we are treated as women. How can we talk about any wave of feminism if we have elections and there is again like only, 20% or 25 or 30% of women within elections listed, etc., So on many levels, we are very far, and on many levels, like, how is it possible we still don't have this Istanbul Agreement? What is it? Or we have to deal with so many specific issues. And if I could answer the question about feminism in Czech Republic, I'm very sad, still very sad. I'm not satisfied, and it comes with the misunderstanding that feminism is about rights for women, but feminism is about same opportunities, the same opportunities for women and men and all other human beings, So it's difficult. I think we have to really start writing again and again and again, because we already said it 100 times. So, yeah, I'm still not satisfied with what is happening in Czech Republic.
Do you see any reasons for optimism, any kind of green shoots, as they say?
I have to think long about it. Yeah, there are like little issues. There is a new thing, for example, that girls can have sanitary products for free at schools. It was such a long fight for it, and I think this is a very positive step, but there is like 1 million other issues. We are still dealing with pay gap. Actually, like a few years ago, I've been to one conference when I was talking about women in the publishing business. And after my talk, there was one publisher from Africa who told me, when I compared with Africa, why are you complaining? And I said, okay, I'm still complaining because, for example, when I'm selling books, a man is approaching my stand asking me, where is your boss? Asking about the guy who is behind, because he can't believe that the books I'm producing is something what women could produce. So yeah, this little level of behaving.
Even when your company is called Women,
yes,
people will ask a question like that.
Yes.
Many thanks to Barbora Baronová of Publishers Women for speaking to me for this edition of Prague Talk, a podcast from Radio Prague International. If you're a first-time listener and enjoyed my talk with Bara, why not check out some of the many, many more conversations in this series that are already out there, and of course subscribe wherever you get podcasts. But for now, that's all from me, Ian Willoughby. Thank you so much indeed for listening to Prague Talk, and talk to you again very soon.